intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Fury's talking shit. He's representing Mexico. He's not even Mexican. What kind of shit is that? Hey, what is Tyson Fury? A British fucking... Ain't even Mexican, man. Wearing the fucking Mexican flag.
You try to ride the wave, bro.
That's dumb, man. Stay in your lane. Represent your country. Tyson Fury, represent your country. Represent what you represent. He Wack. He's cool, man. He's cool. He just needs to stay in his lane, represent where he's from. Shouldn't be representing another country that he's not even a little close of.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Andy Ruiz bringing you that heat, that fire, baby. He is not happy about Tyson Fury and his antics, trying to ride that Mexican Independence Day wave now that Canelo has left a void. Everybody's trying to get some fans. I hear there's a Mayan belt on the line. Just a lot taking place. This is what we're talking about. If you're interested, you know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Now, don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation anywhere in the world. We're talking Andy Ruiz taking shots at Tyson Fury for basically culture jacking. So let's go on out to Mike in Indiana.
I said that, where the ace at? Where the ace at?
Dazn Production.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it.
BoxingVoice.com.
So when I stop him, y'all gonna say he was too weak. He stayed down 147.
A man stand up for what he believe in, and when you stand up for what you believe in, you accept whatever consequences come behind it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo. Good morning to everybody out there in the TBV universe, back with another one. And yeah, man, yeah. I know I brought this up when it first came out. Like, why the fuck is Fury fighting for a Mayan belt? He's fighting Otto Wally. He's not even fighting a Mexican guy. Finally, I got some backup, man. Backup. Now, yesterday I was watching the open workout, and I was just like, damn, this is looking very, very Mexican, very Mexicano. You know what I'm saying? They had the headbands, they had the flags, they had the Nacho Libre masks, they had the T-shirts. And I was just like, is this too much culture appropriation? Like, what is going on? Like, I wasn't quite sure like how people would feel about it. Like, it kind of raised a little bit of red flags, but it wasn't like they were doing anything bad or anything like that. I think it was just too much culture appropriation. And finally, Andy came out and said something. So we'll break that down, get into it, and talk about it. What's going on, Ness?
What's going on, my friend? Good morning.
Dazn Production.
Mike, why you keep trying to hit you? What the sensitive mouse today, man? I'm telling you, I was having issues connecting.
I thought you over there. I think you playing and shit the whole time. I forgot you said your damn mouse messed up and shit.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Man. Good morning to you, brother.
Good morning. You seem in good spirits. Is it the news or you got better news than this boxing? You know.
I had some cinnamon rolls this morning. I got up and baked me some cinnamon rolls, so it was kind of good.
Yeah, sweets will do it to you, man.
Yeah, it will.
Yo, I got Danny Alvarez in studio. He ain't mic'd up because he's getting ready to go to the Devin Haney fight, but he's in studio with us this morning having a cup of that Black Joe. And he's Mexican, you know. He's Mexican, so we were discussing this. I'm like, hold, champ, slow down. Let's leave it for the show. Let's keep it organic because I'm just like, why? Like, maybe I wouldn't be as triggered if this was the first time, but you just did this with the American outfit, with the Apollo Creed outfit. So every time you fight, you're just going to steal someone's culture. It's like, oh, coming to America. I'm wearing all American flag. I'm an American. I'm white. I'm an American. Now it's like, oh, I got to fight again? Let me put on all the Mexican, you know, propaganda. Let me put on a headband that says El Rey. Like, I mean, like, dude, if you was at least out here talking Spanish or something before this, but you just exploiting a day. That's what you're trying to do. Capitalize on a void that Canelo left. Get your Canelo on. Don't try to steal from Canelo.
I'm not. What does El Rey mean?
The king.
Dude, come on.
Exactly. Then you called it Nacho Libre. Nacho Libre is a movie. This dude got the luchador mask like he's really Mexican. Like, bro, this is traditional stuff. You don't play with people's culture like that. Like, keep it real. Would there be an outrage if somebody fucking came down, a white man came down to fucking windwalk with the Wakanda suit on? You know what I mean? Throwing up the fucking X? You know?
Yeah,
like,
he had like the fucking African garments and shit on.
Like people would flip out. People would flip out. And I'm not saying we supposed to flip out. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying people will.
It was just too over the top, man, with the Nacho Libre mask, the luchador mask. I don't understand, like, why would you even have that on? I'm saying you're a boxer, you ain't gonna wear it in a boxing match. I know you're trying to get the fans behind you and things like that, but I just thought it was a tad bit too much. I thought it was I don't want to say distasteful because I don't think they did it in a distasteful manner. I just think they just went over the top. And like you said, he done it before with the Apollo. Like, is he just gonna like if he ever fights in like Africa, is he gonna be like the Zimbabwe king or some shit? I mean, I don't know.
He wildin', man. He wildin'. I'm telling you.
But shout out to Andy though, man. Big ups to Andy coming out talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey. We don't need that over here, man. We don't. Ain't you? What do you say? What do you say? British?
He called them whack. He said he whack, man. You know, represent your country. You know, swagger jacking. That's what this is. This is swagger jacking. This is swagger jacking at its finest. And look, man, at this day and age, yo, I'm the main one sit here and ask the fighters to do things like this. Be over the top. Seek the attention you need to become a star. But I guess there's a fine line. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. See, again, if it was the first offense, then it's like, yo, no, he's just, you know, it's party time in Vegas. You know what I mean? But it's like you theming your fights after someone's culture every fight. Be yourself. Where's the British flag at? I thought you was a traveler. I thought you was a gypsy king. Where's your culture at? Represent that. Why you come in with American flags trying to be Apollo Creed? Not only, and you know, keep in mind, that's an American boxing nostalgic movie. Rocky Balboa got inducted to the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to touch the roots of the true boxing fan. Like, oh, let's remind them of Rocky. You know, I'm Apollo. Oh, it's Mexican Independence Day? Okay, let's get on the flag. Let's jack the culture. Like, yo, the Lucha Libre mask was over the top, bruh. You know, he had his own flag. He had his own Mexican flag on the pole. Mexican bandana with the words El Rey. Mexican colors on his clothes. Everything was themed after him being some sort of traveling Hispanic, gypsy Hispanic.
Let me ask you, do you think that this little display of Mexican pride that he had could bring in some more fans for him down in Las Vegas, or have more Mexican people kind of get behind them, or do you think that they have the same opinion that we kind of have right now? Like, you think it was a little bit over the top?
Listen, man, it's a holiday. It's tradition for Mexicans to be in Vegas and party hard for this. I don't think that it did them as much wrong as the hardcore fans will perceive it. I think casuals can possibly
Las Vegas will have more missing people.
Possibly get behind it the same way, people got behind the Apollo Creed thing. I'm just seeing a pattern. That's all. I'm seeing a pattern. Are you going to fight Joseph Parker and go in there with, like, the New Zealand flag? Or, I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. There's not – the colors of the United Kingdom are not visible. He's wearing green, white, and red. The minute he walked into the media workout, he had the Lucha Libre mask on. He kept it on for a long time. He's waving the Mexican flag. I'm shocked that there's not audio of him trying to speak Spanish. Because that would have helped. Let's just be real. You at the end of the day, you're marketing yourself. You're trying to sell yourself to the Mexican public, and if you went this over the top, you might as well have learned a few words.
Now, we've seen Fury in a Batman outfit. We've seen him with the little shorts on when he does his little pad routine. We know that he's an over-the-top character, you know what I'm saying? So is this just like in line in what he's been doing? Like the Apollo, the Batman, now the Mexican thing? Like he likes the attention. He likes being the center of attention. And, I mean, for better or worse, it gave a lot of people something to, like, comment on and talk about. Andy felt enough about it to talk about, and which is not bad for Fury, because you got a guy who's going through the biggest fight of his career with Anthony Joshua, and he took time out to comment on what Fury was doing. So in actual reality, it kind of works in Fury's favor, because it gets more people talking about a fight that nobody's interested in. Well, maybe not talking about the fight, but talking about the build up to the fight. And it gets Fury on a lot of people's tongue early this morning.
I mean, I guess it does, in one way or another, it does. The question is it a good thing? Is it a good thing to, I don't know, is all publicity good publicity? I guess is the only thing I can say, right?
Looking at it, like, I do think it was over the top. I can't stress it enough, but I don't think he was being disrespectful to the level that garners him to be like set out and like people to like, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. I just think that he was trying to motivate some and get some more fans. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's really trying to be that American star that ESPN wants, but it's just not translating over for us because of the level of competition and the people that he's fighting.
Yeah. But that's the issue when you fight in this level of competition. You got to be over the top. You got to do something to sell the fight instead of just fighting. That's really the bottom line. That's what's going on here.
Are you sold?
He's got to be creative. I'm not sold, because it's still older with Wale. Like, I'm not sold. It does nothing for me. Mexican flags, lucha libre masks, that's not going to win you the fight. Not that I think he's not going to win the fight. Even after watching 3 consecutive Oldwood Wilding fights yesterday on Film Study Tuesdays on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, I'm not convinced that Wilding has a great percentage at pulling off an upset. I just didn't see anything there. His biggest win is a phantom punch that, isn't really a phantom punch. Like, the evidence is clear. He didn't land the punch. The dude took a dive. And it's just sad that this day and age in boxing, we still got guys, like, taking dives and, doing what they're doing to prop other people's resume up. I don't know what that guy was in there doing and, why that fight went the way that it went, but it is what it is. Oda Wawalin is going to have to show us better than he can, tell us, is just the honest truth.
And Big Nick, I don't think that we're being too sensitive. I do think like when you have something as legendary as the lucha libre mask and like what it means to like a Mexican culture, I think people have a right to kind of raise their eyebrow and like give them cause to pause because you don't play with people's cultures on stuff. Like I was saying about Saudi Arabia, like if you go over there, you respect the customs and the culture, and you just kind of do what they have outlined and like guideline. Like you don't really go out and mess with people. I know he wasn't messing with it, but it just wasn't the best of looks for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what purpose does a lucha libre mask have for you to be working out with? You know what I'm saying? Like, it does nothing for you in the fight. You're not going to wear it in the fight. It just does nothing to help you train or get ready for Oda Wallen. But, I mean, I guess it looked nice. The colors were kind of cool.
I guess, man, that's about all you can pull from that, really. And the fact that you get this type of attention. You get that. What was he aiming for? You know, what was he aiming for? Because I'm not sitting here saying that this guy was being disrespectful at all. I just think that it's cheap because you're showing that you have like some sort of an identity crisis. Are you British? Are you, American? Are you Mexican? Which one is it? You know, travelers don't become chameleons. Are you hiding from something that you're trying to fit in? I don't get it. Why not be you? What's wrong with being you? I thought that's what got you here. I thought you were the gypsy king. Now you're El Rey, so you're the Mexican king. Are you Mexican now? Are you the new Mexican lineal champ? Like, we just need information. Were you American the last time because of your outfit? Were you given a citizenship? Like, I don't understand. What is wrong? It's all a gimmick, and that's all I want to be, heard loudly. Like, first time around, okay, cool. I like it. I get it. Yo, coming to America. Yeah, I get it. Your debut, okay. You ain't swagger jacking. Like, I get it. We watch Rocky. Coming to America. I get it. But now you're Mexican. So wait, now I'm scratching my head. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So you just gonna try and capitalize off every holiday and shit.
But when you say be you, be who you are, be Fury, isn't this the Fury playbook? Over the top attention? Want people to like talk about it? I brought up the Batman outfit, brought up the Apollo Creed outfit. Like, isn't this in line with what Fury does on fight week or on the when he got a fight coming up? He does press conferences. He does things that gets his name talked about.
I hear you, man. I hear you on that. The issue with that is Batman doesn't have a race or a nationality and ethnicity. He's just a fictional character, fictitious character. Like, it's not the same thing. It's like he's not offending anybody. You don't know who he's offending. I'm not saying he is now, but it's quite possible that people could be taking this the wrong way.
This might sound stupid. Batman is a fictitious character. Does Mexico have a king?
A king? I don't know, man. You're gonna have to ask him that. I'm pretty sure though, right? Like
president or something?
Not I don't mean an active king when I say pretty sure, but I mean, I don't know, like Azteca, right? You got that was like, I wanna believe like some sort of tribe, right? So there had to be an Indian. I could be all wrong on this, mind you. I'm not Mexican. Just because I speak Spanish don't mean I know everyone's culture. That's for sure.
One thing I was getting to, if we saying that Batman is a fictitious character, then El Rey could be one too. Maybe he wants to be the fictitious Mexican king. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he wants to have them get behind him. Maybe he wants to be their heavyweight champion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he thinks Andy isn't quite good enough to be the Mexican heavyweight king. So maybe he wants to take that throne and try to take that from him on Mexican Independence Day. He is fighting for the Mayan belt, which I still don't get, but it's cool.
Well, that's the thing. how could you be the Mexican king? Like, why? What's wrong with being the Gypsy king? Are you the American king too? Do your outfits represent what king you are? I mean, you might as well just call yourself the global king. Save yourself money on shirts and outfits. Just you're the global king.
We know how the Europeans do throughout history. You know what I'm saying? They try to conquer their little area, then they try to come over here and conquer America and Mexico. But it didn't work out last time, so we'll see how it plays out this time. Now, but on a serious note, I ain't got no problem with Fury. You know what I'm saying? I know people out there, you know what I'm saying, maybe think he's a little bit too over the top, but in the day, you know what I'm saying, this is boxing. Boxing is over the top. Anytime we get a guy like Fury that comes out and like gives us more things to talk about, then his fight is good, even because his fight is not that great. But I like the personality. I like the trying to get the Mexican public behind him. But I think a little bit less settled, he probably would have did a better job.
Traditional.
You're right. I was in Saudi Arabia, and they have some interesting lifestyle choices out there.
What are they? I've never been.
You can have 4 wives if you.
That's amazing.
But you gotta afford them, so you'll slow down real quick. And if you're caught in a car with someone who isn't your wife, you're publicly shamed and fined $100,000. And if you actually were sleeping with someone who isn't your wife, it put you in a pit and stone you to death.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. So.
And that's why you respect people's cultures, you know what I'm saying? Because that's their culture. So you don't want to be stoned to death when you're in that country, you know? And when that fight was announced and it was said to be in Saudi Arabia, people just kept saying respect their culture, right? That's their culture, you know? Respect their culture. So I just think that we should just keep that same energy, that's all, you know? We don't know what people hold as something dear and close to their heart, you know? Me personally, I don't think it was that big a deal, but it does send mixed signals to me, you know? It comes off as gimmicky, you know? Just profile raising. It's disingenuous to me, you know? I'm just going to play up to whatever audience is available to me. Okay, they're American, I'm American this time. They're Mexican, I'm Mexican this time. You know, we gonna fight Parker? I guess I'm from New Zealand now. So it seems gimmicky to me. Those are my final thoughts. We could go to the callers if you don't have anything else to add.
No, I don't have anything else to add, but it was a good soundbite, you know what I'm saying? I wish we could have 4 or 5 wives.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Let me go out to Mr. Alvarez in town to cover Devin Haney, but wants to give his thoughts. Ring walk, what it do?
What's up, Tim? What's up? Just wanted to get my thoughts on what we was talking about a little bit before the show. I personally have no issue with it, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was there for Fury's last fight when he fought the gym, and he came out with the Apollo Creed, and the reaction in the arena on social media was nothing but positive. And then, with the Mexican thing, I feel like it's almost been encouraged, right? We look at it. He, in his corner, you have Jorge Castillo, trainer in Vegas. He's in Fury's corner, was in his corner for his last fight, in his corner for this fight, alongside Ben Davidson, and he's Mexican. And I've seen on their social media, he's inviting them for carne asada, and, you see Fury's had like the
Move around a bit. So that we could get to a little better service.
So, I was saying, they're doing the carne asada cookouts, and, Fury is in the backyard with the sombrero, and then the WBC put in the Mayan belt on the line. I feel like it's almost been encouraged for him to to go ahead and engage with the Mexican fans and draw them in. I have no issue with it. I mean, I feel like everybody today kind of crosses over. You know what I'm saying? Outside of boxing as well. I think it's good for the sport. His antics are always over the top. So I feel like it fits his persona. I don't know if you could call it like coach jacking, whatever. I could see how some people could be offended. I don't feel like he did anything, like he did it in an offensive way or like he was trolling in any manner. I'm honestly for it. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like it's been encouraged. Like, you got a Mexican trainer in your corner. So even before this, he got you with the sombrero, playing the Mexican music, the WBC putting a Mexican belt on the line. It's an honorary belt, but still putting it on the line for a fight that includes 0 Mexican fighters. So I feel like it's been encouraged, and I feel like that's his persona in a way too, right? To where he's very entertaining, very over the top with things, and we've kind of seen it in the past. And this is his second time fighting in Vegas, so I feel like he knows the Mexicans are going to be in town, so why not drop them in and stir conversations like this up? Because fighting on such a big weekend and such a big stage, shit, he may pull more Mexican fans into the arena than what Andy did back in June when he fought. You never know, because the Mexicans are already going to be in town, so he very well may do that. I'm personally for it. I have no issue with it. I find it entertaining. I think it's pretty cool, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Alvarez, and giving us your take. Being a fellow Mexican, I want to keep these lines moving. We're gonna go out.
Get this right quick, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Got one from Joseph Rodriguez Garcia. You know what I'm saying? What up, Joseph, big dog? In his defense, he's saying El Rey de los Gitanos, which is king of the gypsies in Spanish. Me personally, I dug it. It wasn't derogatory towards me. I feel it. And we got one from Timer TV. This is what white guys do, steal others' cultures. We got another one from Timer TV. Floyd did it to be disrespectful, not the same.
Yeah. And I get Joseph, you're there, so we could debate it a bit. But the bandana says El Rey. It don't say de los Gitanos anywhere. It doesn't say of the Gitanos. Now maybe his shirt says it, but the bandana, which is visible, which is a Mexican flag, says El Rey.
Yeah, but like you said, on the bandana it doesn't. But if you go to all his posts, what they're shouting, that's what they're shouting about. And what I also wanted to dive into was we're talking about respecting the culture, but as a part of the gypsy culture, they're travelers. They don't have a permanent home. So he can be British, he can be American and Mexican. So it's kind of fitting into his own culture at the same time. And I kind of agree with Danny. I think it's already been accepted and encouraged. You may get a few people who are offended by it, but Mexicans love anybody who loves their Mexican culture. So there's going to be some people who dig that he's repping the flag. And as long as he's not doing it in a disrespectful manner, which I haven't seen yet, I think, it's definitely clout chasing. It's definitely biting off the holiday. But it could build him some fans.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Being a traveler, does that give him credence to have I don't want to say incorporation, but incorporate some of people's customs and stuff like that? I mean, I'm not quite sure the definition of a traveler, but it seems like this is right under the umbrella of what a traveler does.
I don't know, man. I didn't know travelers can just adapt. Since when did they become chameleons? You know what I'm saying? Just because you're a traveler gives you the right to become part of the culture that you visit? I mean, and you can do that too. What's wrong with getting in touch? But I'm just saying, you're out here actively repping for promotional gain. That's my issue. It's not like I'm coming to America and I'm wearing an American jacket and then you see me still wearing it in the UK. No, I'm doing it strategically for a fight. And now it's a Mexican holiday, and I got another fight, so fuck it. I'm doing it strategically for another fight. And someone brought up a great point. A few fighters have done that. Floyd did the Mexican outfit, and another African-American fighter, I want to believe, did the Mexican outfit. But that same
his Uncle Roger did it. He used to come out with the sarape, sombrero, and everything.
But that same super chatter had another great point. Floyd was doing it to disrespect, be disrespectful and get up under the skin. Is Tyson doing this subliminally? Because he has been having a lot of words for Andy Ruiz in the media. I don't know. I think it's an expensive subliminal message, especially for a guy as vocal and forward and blunt as Tyson. If he had something to say about Andy, he would have said it because he's already called them everything under the sun. So no need to be discreet.
Well, and the thing about the promotional thing, this too, is look, man, let's be honest. How many people knew of Andy Ruiz before they found out he was the first Mexican heavyweight champion? Granted, he is Mexican, but that helped with promotion too. As soon as Mexican people heard there's a Mexican champion, they eat it up. Half those people had no idea Ruiz even fought that day. And that's what Mexican fans being a big time boxing culture. So I mean, it's more accepted because he's Mexican, but it's kind of the same notion, I would think.
Do you think more people will end up going to the fight because of some of the antics that he pulled off in the open workout?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think?
Like I said, I'm still surprised that this fight is at the T-Mobile Arena. I don't see how they're gonna fill it.
Is it T-Mobile?
The fact that
Whoa. Is that T-Mobile? It's not like an MGM or anything like that?
No, it's at T-Mobile Arena. That's what he said on Mike Tyson's Hotboxing the other day.
Bro, the fact that they keep spending money on this guy is hilarious to me. I'm just keeping it G. I don't understand what's going on here with the bread that they're wasting. And the other point I wanted to make is something came out yesterday in the press release from ESPN called Heavy. And it's some sort of documentary on Tyson Fury. And, it's going to be dropping soon. But the talking points are his mental illness, his weight loss, weight gain, or weight gain, weight loss, his future, and Wilder. Like, this dude has gone from a little bit of everything. I ain't gonna front. Like, he still always had the win over Vlad. But for the last 3 years, he had a very bad stigma for weight gain and cocaine use and just being very, he was out there, like, making statements, right? So now everything has to do with Wilder. Like, every interview is with Wilder. Every question is with Wilder. I watched the Hot Box. It was about Wilder as well. Like, he goes through the normal talking points, and I guess that's how it is. We're not superstars. We don't have publicists. But it's like they're touching on the story, the weight loss, the mental illness, the depression. Wilder. Then the next interview is all the same talking points, and it ends in Wilder. Like, your entire career is based off Wilder. Like, ESPN gave you a deal based off Wilder. And this is what I keep saying. Wilder needs to just walk away from this dude. Walk away from this dude. Let him go do something. He should not be allowed another opportunity at the top with this type of behavior. And that's everything. The opponents, the culture jacking, the blatant disrespectful comments. Because I got a soundbite here that obviously no one is going to pay attention to, right? They'll brush it off. But why do fighters like contradict themselves so much? It's like the conversation we had with Earl Spence saying he didn't want to knock out Mikey, but then he's disappointed, but then he's back saying he never wanted to knock him out. He was trying to show his skill. So which is it? Which is it? Did Wilder knock you out? Were you not knocked out? Were you knocked out? Did your father say you was knocked out? Did your wife not want you to get knocked out? Are you better? Is he a bum? Is he a docile? Or were you knocked out?
If there was no higher power, then it wouldn't be possible for me to be here. Even in the fight with Wilder, brought me off the canvas in round 12 when I was knocked out to raise me to my feet and to fight on for a reason. If there was...
Nah. He wasn't knocked out, Ness. He's just talking. You're taking his words out of context. So how many times could a man say he was knocked out and we gonna believe him? How many times can a man reference God helping him get up from that shot and we gonna stop saying that, the other man has no skill? It's crazy, man. I don't know. It's just weird to me, man.
I feel like he hangs on to Wilder's name because that's the only way he's keeping fans. He missed the boat of making the immediate rematch, and a lot of people too much time has passed to remember how close that fight was. People remember Wilder blitzing Dominic Brazil, and people are going to remember Wilder knocking out Ortiz here pretty soon. What are you going to remember about Fury for 2019?
Even though he knocked out Tom Swartz, motherfuckers don't even bring up that fight. So yeah, I agree with Joseph, man. He has to use Wilder names to stay relevant, and I agree with you too. It's just at this point, man, it's just bro, you're using my shit way too much. You know what I'm saying? Who are you even fighting again? Otto Wilder? You guys are steady trying to use my name to build up this fight? Come on, man. Come on.
All the time. Everything ends in Wilder. I watched Teddy Atlas, and I think it was him, Max Kellerman, and maybe Stephen A. Smith. It's not new. It's not new. And he had an opinion of Wilder. And Max had and Max had another one, but then Max brings up something Teddy says in the past that stuck with Max for years. And he brings it up, and it's in reference to Rocky Marciano and Rocky Marciano's resume and how he feels that Atlas is basically very hard on Wilder for his resume, but glorifies Rocky Marciano for his resume. Bro, you had Teddy Atlas there, flipping out in good old Teddy Atlas fashion. It was funny, though. It was funny. You're right about that, Jerome. I'm going to give you so much, we're going to highlight your comment. I promise you. If I could find it, we will highlight it. But Jerome says...
Yes, I agree with that, too.
Wilder made his bed by colluding... What the fuck? This comment's jumping because the chat keeps going. Okay. By colluding with Fury, Ness, trying to make alliances in the boxing because he realized Fury couldn't hurt him and he could get an easy payday without the risk of getting hurt. Well, I don't agree with your entire comment because, you see, no one that knows boxing ever expected Fury to be an easy fight. As the biggest Wilder fanboy, you guys have appointed me the biggest Wilder fanboy. I continuously told you guys that this was not an easy fight. And I also said I didn't like this fight. I always wanted this fight last, not first. Last, not first. So if you thought because Fury was overweight and just getting back into the game after 2 tune-ups, he was not dangerous, that was your fault. I do agree that Wilder created this monster. Wilder created this monster. No one considered Fury the lineal champ. That was just something he was yelling at the top of his lungs until that promotion came about, and it was a big pay-per-view promotion. So the lineal champ line and phrase got thrown out a lot and written a lot. But, shout out to the WBC. They're giving him a belt now. So at least he could probably put some duct tape on the front and write the words lineal. Because, finally he got one that fits around his waist. But I do agree. This is a monster that Wilder created, and that's exactly why I feel like he should walk away. He should walk away because, if he's a bum and a dosser, you don't need to fight that bum and a dosser. But what I see is, I don't know, if Wilder's a bum and a dosser, what is Schwartz and Wallin?
I guess they're the people that work for Wilder. They under him. I don't know, brother. Fury, you know what I'm saying? I can't get mad at what he's doing because, I understand the business of boxing, and I know you got to keep yourself relevant. And by doing that, you gotta associate and attach your names to other people. So I mean, I can't get mad at that. But at the same time, I mean, if you're gonna call guys bums and Dawson, so you can beat all the heavyweights with one hand tied behind your back, then I need to see you in there with a little bit more, better people than what I seen yesterday doing film study on Otto Wilder. I don't see much of resistance that's gonna come from Otto Wilder in past 2 or 3 rounds.
And honestly, you know, with Fury, I think his opponents are all strategic because he's trying not to take damage. And if you look at it, he's doing the same thing as the first fight. You know, he's taking 2 soft touches, and if everything goes to plan, Wilder's going to come in off the Ortiz fight, which is not going to be an easy fight. You're letting Wilder take damage so you can take advantage of a guy who's been through a rough fight, and that's a smart game plan. But it doesn't prove. You know, I want these guys to be, you know, like if I was Wilder, I would take a tune-up too, but at the same time, if you're Wilder and Wilder was to do this, he would catch so much criticism and hate from everybody for taking easy tune-up fights like this, you know. So it's a double-edged sword and a smart strategy by Fury, honestly, to try to catch Wilder coming in off a tough fight.
Yep. I agree about the hate and the double standard. Let's go out to the callers.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
We'll get on deck first today, man. Good morning, everybody out there in the TB universe. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. You want to go one step farther, head up to boxingvoice.com. It's the holiday season, so go to our affiliate sponsors page and click on our Amazon link. Bookmark that link, save that link, and do all your holiday shopping through our Amazon link. It costs you nothing extra, but we do get a little kickback every time you use that link. 73 thumbs up, 410 watching. I need to get at least 100 by the second caller.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. They call me residue, I leave blow on these beats. I'ma treat him like he's a C+ fighter. Shit on this.
Yo, what's good? Yeah, last time I checked, man, I could have yeah, top of the morning to y'all. Good morning to y'all. But last time I checked, I think that WBC made a Mayan belt. I think for Tyson Fury and Odom Wilder, that they were going to give it to him, whoever was the winner. Of course, Tyson Fury knows he's going to win. So, of course, Tyson Fury is going to dress up like a Mexican. That's what I could have swore. I checked, and there was a video that said that's what he's getting. And they made a new belt, the Mayan belt. So when it comes to that, that's how Tyson Fury does. There's no way he can promote this by talking about Odom Wilder, because Odom Wilder doesn't talk back. Tyson Fury always brings up Deontay Wilder. That's his selling point, and that's all he needs to do. And somehow people, you know, still think he's the best. If he's not fighting the best, but they still think he's the best. It's what you call casual fans, man. They're going to pay attention to him and then look at the opponent, think the opponent's big, but really he's not. You guys watched him yesterday. He doesn't do that much work. It's just another easy win, man, just like Luis Ortiz. He got the easy wins just to get Deontay Wilder. Everybody's doing the easy wins to get Deontay Wilder. That's my call.
I like that call. Do you guys think that that's the reason why he did the whole Mexican get up in the tire is because he's fighting for the Mayan belt?
I mean, he's fighting on Mexican Independence Holiday. It's the same reason he's being offered the Mayan belt. Like, look, in a way, he has every right. Like, you know, like there's a reason. But again, it comes off cheap when that's what you're doing for every fight. It's not like, oh, it's Mexican Independence Holiday, let me pay homage. It's like, okay, we did the American thing. What's the next gimmick? What could we do? Oh, shit, let's do this because it's Mexican Independence. That's how it feels. I could be wrong. That's only my opinion and interpretation of it. We going out. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I also think it has to do with the crowd that's there in Vegas. A lot of people plan ahead because usually there's a big, Canelo fight or Floyd Mayweather fight in Vegas on September 14th weekend. So people have already made those plans. They're still gonna go. You plan a trip to Vegas.
Though. That's my point. He's trying to capitalize or take advantage of those fans. So by doing that, he's playing up to them. He's like, damn, how do I get? They already here. They already want to see boxing. It's not just Fury. The promoter put him there because of that. Because you're right. Every Mexican Independence Day, every Cinco de Mayo, and now Canelo is so big that he's going to do his own thing on November 2nd, El Día de los Muertos. It starts on October 3rd, and it goes until the first week of November. So, he's going to create another holiday. People think they're stealing from Canelo. He is a holiday, you know what I'm saying? But that being said, they seen a void. They're trying to capitalize. That's all that is. And so is the WBC. It's like, fuck, usually we get this big-ass sanctioning fee on this day from Canelo. How can we get that same amount of money? I know. Let's make 4 belts and get 4 different fighters to fucking pay the same fee to see if they can fucking get the same belt. We would have got the same amount from Canelo. Like, yo, everybody wants that bread. This is all about bread. Putting on a Mexican flag and a fucking El Rey bandana is trying to sell more tickets and get more fans for the next fight. I'm not stupid. I know what this is, but I have a job to tell my audience the truth.
I'm going to need you to hit up Mauricio and send me a Mayan belt for my fight Saturday, too, since we just handed them out.
Yeah, right? We need a Mayan belt. He should have gave us 3 Mayan belts instead of the 3 WBCs. It's like you giving them out like that. But anyway, Canada, next up, what it do?
What up?
TBB Universe.
What up?
Good morning, everybody. What's
morning,
up?
Champ.
Good morning.
Listen, man, Tyson Fury is out here cooning and buffooning, man. At the end of the day, we understand it's about the business of boxing, and it's about capitalizing on, what's available. When it was time for him to, fight Deontay Wilder, he tried to capitalize on the American public. And now, he's trying to capitalize on the Mexican people. For the culture, it's bad, but for the business, it's amazing. Because, when you go out to Las Vegas, at T-Mobile Arena at that, everybody's coming out to see, a show. And Tyson Fury, out of everybody in boxing, knows how to put on a show. And he did just that and got everybody's attention because he got everybody this morning talking about why is Tyson Fury out here repping all his Mexican gear, and that's what it's all about. Selling tickets, getting exposure.
So, Champ, if Fury fought in Canada and fought with the Maple Leafs jersey on, was repping the flag, like, how would you feel about that being from Canada? Do you think it'd be offensive, or would you guys take to that?
Oh, a lot of people out here would take to that, but the real ones would be offended. Like, who is this guy coming out here trying to, almost like make fun of what we doing, but at the same time, he got on the jersey. He repping the culture, so it's like he giving us exposure that we might have never had before. So that's what it's all about. It comes down to the business. The promoters out here would be happy, like, yeah, promote our country, promote what we do over here. But at the end of the day, you gotta do it in the right way.
Cut it.
Great call, man. Great call. Next up, making that case.
It kind of convinced me to going the other direction.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, good call.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. You see, my opinion isn't end all be all, just like Mike's or Big Supermax, whoever's on the panel. No, this is a topic and debate show. Sometimes it can get to be the Thunderdome, but at the end of the day, we want everybody's opinion because it's the voice of the people. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you could be like Next Up and call in on Skype by adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype and being part of the conversation. We're going out to sunny Florida. Majid, what it do?
What up, Majid?
What up? Yeah, man, I'm over in Ohio today, working and shit.
So we got the same weather.
But got some cooler weather here. I get a break for a second. But yeah, man, I feel like what Tyson Fury doing, he ain't doing shit but just trying to engage with the fans, And I don't really got nothing to say about it because you got to sell something, But all that shit where he keep throwing out Deontay Wilder name, if he gonna be fighting those niggas he fighting, I don't want to hear shit about Wilder. You know, he ain't run that rematch. So, big up to TBV. Everybody like the video. And thanks for another morning show, man.
Thank you for listening, Majid. We appreciate you, man. Alumni have been listening for a minute now. You know, guys, someone in the comment section, let me see if I can find it. Find it. Who are you? Where do you go? Oh, boom. Gunna Forever. He said something that struck a thought. Fury is so good at what he does that he's stolen the shine from the real Mexican. A real Mexican fighting on the real Mexican Independence Day, Jaime Munguia. But this is the issue. And this is what I say when I interviewed both Eddie and Frank. How do you build someone? How is fighting Atoli building Munguia when he is being eclipsed, literally eclipsed by Tyson Fury right now because of that? Not because Ottawa Wallin is a better opponent, but because Fury was already on that stage. He's been to the top of the mountain, and we know him. So his fight and everything he does is eclipsing the real Mexican who's a champion defending his belt on his holiday. We ain't said one word of Jaime Munguia, not just today, but for the past 30 days.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. I don't think that we can say that he stole it from Jaime Munguia. A lot of people saw Jaime Munguia's last fight against Dennis Hogan. Many thought that he did not win. So many people kind of left a bad taste in their mouth about Jaime Munguia. Now he's fighting a guy that we have no idea where he's from, what he does for a side job. So with that being said, he doesn't speak English either. Fury has that engaging personality that attracts more fans to him. Jaime Munguia, even though he doesn't speak English, his personality doesn't seem that engaging. So I'm not saying that he stole the date from Jaime Munguia. I just think that a lot of variables go into the fact that Fury's the big name this weekend, and Jaime Munguia just like, he's fighting? Okay, cool.
Yo, based statement says he's Nigerian when he's fighting AJ.
Mike, real quick to your point about Munguia, the coming off a loss thing, it's a good point, but it also, look, man, as a Mexican fan, we all saw what happened with Lara and Triple G. We still came out for Canelo. I've seen Oscar rob Felix Sturm and rode hard for him to fight Bernard Hopkins. You know, it's just, so I just think that he got outshined. I'm with Ness. I think he just got outshined this weekend.
But Jaime hasn't had that crossover fight yet, has he? Like, Oscar had Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Canelo had Floyd. Jaime Munguia, I know he beat up Saddam Ali, but it wasn't like that.
But he
fight.
went a Canelo route in the sense that he was coming up on Canelo's undercards. Canelo came up on Floyd's undercards and put on his own cards.
That's true.
You know.
Yo, is Apple racist? When you type in Mexico to get an emoji, taco, and the Mexican flag comes out. Is that racist? That's crazy, yo. They crazy, Apple. Look.
Let me see.
Nah, I mean, I guess that's your traditional food. That's like when people talk about Dominicans, you know, they be like, plátanos, you know what I mean? Plantains and shit. So I guess.
Shout out to Eno on the super chat. He said Fury is the heavyweight Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Cloud chasing. I mean, nah, man. 6ix9ine did a better job of cloud chasing for real. For real.
I wanted to ask Joseph real quick though. Why don't you think that there's more people behind Jaime Munguia? I mean, he's a good-looking prospect and all, but you know, I just don't understand why more the boxing public is not really like behind him and like rooting him on like that.
You know, I'm curious to that myself. He has as far as looks, he has the look. He's got the style. If you understand Spanish, his personality isn't bad. He just doesn't. You know, with Canelo, there was always something about Canelo that was like, dude, this guy, he's going to be something different. I don't feel that way about Munguia. When you look at him and you watch him, you don't feel like he's going to be You know, to me, he's more of a Morales type, maybe a Barrera. We're gonna get behind him. He's gonna put on the good performances, but he's not gonna be that next level. If for Jaime McGee, he's gonna need another Mex. He's gonna need possibly if he gets in there with Canelo. You know, he's gonna need to put on a good performance, or he's gonna need another Mexican star to have somebody to have a trilogy with to really put him over the top. I think.
And he's not gonna get that. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Jaime Munguia, Julio Cesar Chavez, 168 one day. Watch.
That would be interesting.
I don't think he's gonna get that player to put him over the top because they're already lining him up with Canelo, So he's not, and like you said, we don't see that skill in him. I don't see him upsetting Canelo. But Muhammad Ali says Fury making easy money. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Is he a worthy or proven champion? Absolutely. He needs to prove himself. Beating Klitschko alone doesn't cut it. All right, champ. I hear you. Where we at? Let's see.
Then we got to all the super chats. You know what I'm saying? We got on. No. We got to all of them. Joseph just read that one.
All right, so let's get to some callers. We got UK Zone.
Sing along if you know the words. Come on.
Coyote, what's the business?
What up, Coyote?
You the man. Talk to us. One, two,
Yeah. Listen there. Can you not hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Fury, I mean, I've always come on the show and I've always said Fury is a very disingenuous guy. This is a guy that hasn't won any serious fight in the last 3 years. And he just, he's a very smart guy and he gets away with so much stuff. So, and I don't blame whoever said that Wilder is responsible for Fury's, I don't blame them. Both of them, they decided to come together to obviously shut out AJ, and they built their names by each other. So they shouldn't leave each other now. They should stick it to the end. I don't think Wilder should now decide that, he doesn't need Fury anymore. He needs Fury, let's face it. And Fury needs him as well. That's why he has a contract. That's why he's telling Wilder, you're not going to fight anyone else. You're going to fight me. Because they decided that they were not going to fight AJ, and they decided to build their name through each other. So they've got each other now. We all know what the plan is. They should just go ahead and do whatever they're doing. Whoever wins that fight, we can come back and see if they'll fight AJ. If they ever will fight AJ.
Why would they fight AJ?
We all know
2 losses, champ.
Now, I'm not saying 2 losses. I mean, whoever wins, because apparently there's a rematch when they fight in February. There's another rematch later on in the year. So none of them is going to fight AJ.
Man, if they got a rematch, that's going to be depressing. And I'm sure they do because guess what? This is the first fight. It's kind of like a reset because the first one was a draw. So these new negotiations have to have a rematch. And with that fight, being scary for Wilder, he would be dumb not to have a rematch. But to give it a 2-way rematch, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen something that said Fury fighting Wilder then wants to finish up next year with the AJ and Ruiz winner.
Now, the only out Wilder has is if he does what he did in the 12th and 9th earlier, Fury ain't going to want no rematch. But why the fuck did he give Fury a 2-way rematch? That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. I mean, it must be some big money on attached to this shit. 2-way? 2-way? That's crazy. And don't get me wrong.
Go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. They kind of offered that in the second one when it was immediate. But, again, after this attitude, 2-way? I'm shocked at that.
We got a super chat coming from the expert genius. Fury is not comfortable in his skin without attention. What's to sue? What's to sue Wilder if asked to? Wants to sue Wilder if asked to step aside, but step aside himself to fight Tom.
Very true. Very true. He stepped aside for free, but actually not for free, man. He getting them checks from Top Rank for them fights and them fighters. CYP, what up? Yo, talk to us.
Okay, look. I never agree with nothing Tyson Fury says, but one thing he said I agree with, and that's when he told Andy Ruiz, represent your country. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You cannot have two nationalities unless you file for dual citizenship. Yes, your heritage is one thing, but your nationality is another. And Andy Ruiz is American. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, some Mexicans don't like to hear that, but the truth of the matter is there's a lot of Mexicans today, like right now, today, 2019, they don't even teach their kids Spanish. They don't like the fact that there's still some Mexicans who don't know English. They want to assimilate to America in their own way. They want to bring La Raza. They want to bring Mi Familia. They want to bring that to America in their own way. They don't want Mexico brought to America. Like if you notice, Barack Obama, they don't say he's Kenyan European because you can't have two nationalities. That makes him American. We know Kenyan is a nationality. It's not a race. That's why Barack Obama is not called Kenyan European, which his mom is European. You only represent your nationality from the country that you're from. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but there are a lot of Mexicans out there who just want to be straight American, but represent their culture and not be Mexican in America. There's a reason why they call white people white, black people black. One day they're going to call Mexican people brown, and when they call y'all brown, that's when y'all going to get the respect and love that everybody else get. But you keep saying Mexican, they're going to keep feeling like y'all different from them. I'm telling you, embrace that brown pride. Embrace that shit. And when you embrace that, we ain't going to have no choice but to treat you like everybody else. I'm going to chime back in, but that's just my call on that.
Yeah, that was a good point.
I do think, in all races, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers don't want to be, I know some black people don't want to be like African American. They just want to be American. And a lot of people from Africa don't really like the American black people, you know what I'm saying? They think we're lazy. They think we have everything given to us and shit. So you can sparse that with all different kind of races, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have pride or whatever in the races. I don't think you can just put that on just one. But I agree with the call.
That was a very valid point, I feel like, because I see a lot of that in my everyday life.
And Mr. CYP, we would love for you to chime in again. To do so, you might have to show your support. Don't know if that is something you would choose to do, but Killer Kells from Cali has retracted his boomerang status, unfortunately. Keeping it moving, we got Patrick Rocha. Talk to me.
What up, Mr. Rocha?
Good morning, fellas. How you doing? You alright, yeah?
All good.
Hold on, whoa. Are you a Hispanic man living in the UK?
Nah, man. I'm originally from Portugal, but live in the UK.
Gotcha, okay.
My mom is Portuguese and my dad's Irish.
Shit.
Yeah, man. Some crazy blood action going on.
Nice.
First and foremost, obviously, what Tyson Fury coming out with this Mexican stuff. Obviously, he's an entertainer. Obviously, he wants the fans. That's what he is. And obviously, these fights coming in, I personally think this shouldn't be pay-per-view. But being out for 3 years, give a guy a break, man. Don't take it too hard. Like, he's been out of the game for 3 years. He needs ring rust. These are not fights. These are more exhibition fights. But to see the workout, the way he moved yesterday, boy, he definitely can put Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz in the pocket with one hand. Like that yesterday was a proper workout. Tell me a heavyweight who does a workout like that. Most after 2 minutes, they start taking their gloves off. The guy went a full on. The guy's another level. And
most of the heavyweights are like fighting real competition, so they don't want to get burnt out.
I know what you mean. I know. But the way that guy moved, a giant moving like a lightweight, he clearly is a Lomachenko heavyweight version. I never seen nothing like it.
I love the praise, man. I get it. Listen, Fury, you said Lomachenko. I still call him the Mayweather of the heavyweight division because the power isn't there, but it's respectable power. The defense is there. I'm pretty sure he gets hit less than he lands on people, whatever the phrase is. But like, yeah, look, he's good, man. I hope Wilder could do it. It's a tough fight, man. I hope that they got a better game plan this time around. He got to cut that ring off, too. He wasn't cutting that ring off, bro. My man was able to get out the corner, just circle. He was able to circle. You know who else was able to circle? I was watching Sean Porter versus Ugas yesterday, right? I don't know, man. That might be a film study. Yo, listen, Mike, you are right a lot. Every time I think you're wrong, you get it right, especially on the betting show. I can't lie. So this is not an argument. But, bro, sometimes you be saying dudes won, and then I watch the fight. Them motherfuckers ain't win. Horn didn't win. Motherfucking, you was right about Joseph Parker. You was right about Joseph Parker versus Andy Ruiz. When we watched it, it was clear Joseph kept him at bay with the jab. But you was wrong. I ain't finished watching Ugas. I ain't finished. I ain't gonna front. That shit was hard to watch. After the 4th round, I'm like, man, I'm out. It's 2 a.m. I'm done with this shit. But from 1 through 4, man, I don't even know if I could give Ugas a round.
We gotta watch that then. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch that.
Man, I'm telling you, the way he watched fight, we gotta watch
something.
On
Fox, right?
I think so, but it was on YouTube. It's got 400,000 views on YouTube.
Like, yeah, man, I'll watch that live, man. Come on, nah.
Bruh, Sean Porter, Ken ain't lying. Sean Porter jab was nasty in that fight for the first 4 rounds, because, again, I ain't go back and watch it. He kept that right hand right there, and he was just like, at some time, and yo, Ugas was typical Cuban, waiting and then doing this. Oh, I'm stretching my shoulders. Man, get the fuck out. How you winning around doing aerobics? Nah, man. Nah. But whatever. We got Stone Bone. Actually, we got a new caller. 570. New caller. If so, say so. Don't say your name or where you're from. Let us play this first time caller intro and then do all that. Unless you're not a new caller. What's up? 570-520. 570-520.
Yeah, it's a new caller.
All right, let me go ahead and play this intro, champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, it's Joe in PA.
Joe in PA, talk to us.
What up, Joe? Good morning.
Good morning.
The Eagles.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I was just calling. Somebody there said that travelers travel and take on different cultures of where they living, but I don't think he's ever been or lived in Mexico. I think it's disrespectful, and you can't compare it with the American flag, like the Apollo outfit. I mean, America is a melting pot with different cultures, but Mexico and almost every other country, you have to respect unless you're from there. Now, he's promoting like he's Don King, but Don King got away with that shit as a promoter with the Puerto Rican flag, back in the day, screaming, Puerto Rico, but like Andy said, he needs to stay in his lane. And you had that one caller, he was saying, you need to calm down because, he's saying like Andy's not Mexican, but because he was born in America, that don't make no sense. Because I bet in his house he was eating tacos and he was raised with that Mexican heritage. So I just think it's disrespectful. I think he should stick with his own thing. That's it.
Thank you for the call. First time caller. We appreciate it. We hope you continue to call in. That was actually a great call.
Yeah, because they say Andy lives like in a border town. They would travel.
Let me tell you something. I don't know.
Hold on, Nest. Don't be showing that cowboy shit on fucking the boxing voice. I seen the tattoo and shit.
Oh man, I had to itch my arm, bro. Don't be.
He was fake scratching. Yo, if you're watching this on YouTube,
look for
we
the
got
Super
Big
Max.
Supermax showing his tattoos right now. Come on YouTube, check him out.
Y'all love y'all football down in Texas. I'll tell y'all that.
I see. What happened when Emmett left? Did you want to get that shit erased?
I was 9, Ness, but I still got it afterwards.
Yo, you trying to call me old, man? I get you.
When Emmett left, did you want to get it erased?
Yo, so I mean, I didn't really understand what CYP was saying, and I didn't want to argue with him because maybe he's technically right, right? Like technically, maybe by the book, he's right. And this is the thing, like I'm a Dominican American, right? I was born here in America, but both my parents are from Dominican Republic, and migrated over here both at 17.
Well,
so that makes me, in my opinion, Dominican American. I am Dominican by blood. What I know is the American culture. But like the last caller said, in my house, you better believe I was eating plátanos, arroz con guandule, pernil. Like that, my Thanksgivings were nothing like an American Thanksgiving. My Thanksgivings were Hispanic like a motherfucker. Like we would respect the American culture on Thanksgiving and have pumpkin pie, shit like that. Like maybe those hams, them hams. Nah, all right, well, yeah. That's about as far as it went. My mom kept it all Spanish out there. Oh, yeah, we had cranberry, I guess, for the turkey.
Let me touch on that a little bit, Ness, because I can understand what he was saying. There's some Mexican people that in your household, it's like you said, you bring the Mexican culture, but you represent as an American, because you have some Mexicans that they got Mexico flag waving. They had, they praise Mexico so highly living in the States. Where I fall on that, like I get what he's saying, because my household is Mexican. We have Mexican food, Mexican holidays, celebrate all that. But I come from a family of nothing but service members. My grandpa was a Vietnam veteran, very proud of that. So we're American first and foremost, but our heritage it's like you said, you got a Dominican heritage. And a lot of times, there's people from Mexico that even in my town where they live, that if you don't speak fluent Spanish, they look down on you. They think you're a sellout because you don't speak Spanish. Absolutely. Because you don't go visit Mexico, because you're not waving the flag.
Brother, I got that coming up. My parents used to be so mad at me, bro, because they would talk to me in Spanish, and I would respond in English. Bro, I didn't even start dating Spanish women till late, bro. Like almost the 20s. I was all about the African American women early on. I'm telling you. It's like that, man. You get shamed if you don't speak Spanish. What? Especially your grandparents and shit. Like, in Spanish, they obviously gonna be telling you, like, how is it that you don't want to learn how to speak your language? This is your culture. Like, yeah, man.
And it's funny. They say, and a lot of people like my age, like a lot of people don't know Spanish, but they want their kids to know Spanish. So I think they see the benefits of knowing it. But it's just a weird thing.
Now it's actually a good thing to be bilingual for work purposes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Especially with the demographic of Mexicans, knowing Spanish can help you in the job world. Knowing multiple languages, obviously.
And now I know in schools, like they require kids to do a little Spanish. Cause my daughter does Spanish with her class and stuff. Like
here in Texas, you got to take 2 years of Spanish in high school.
Look at for me, this is my job. I was interviewing, Andy and AJ, and his father was there. Andy's father was there. He's not doing interviews in English, So it's either don't talk to him at all because you don't know Spanish, or talk to him because you do know Spanish and record it, but learn something, pick up on little things that, only he can tell you. And that's an advantage for me. That's definitely an advantage. Now, it doesn't help in terms of views because people don't know this channel to be a channel for, Spanish interviews. But, whenever I do post them, people always have good comments because they're like, oh, they were impressed and were unaware that I spoke 2 languages. But let me get to... We got a new boomerang. He's been a boomerang now for a minute. He's a boomerang or a ringer, but he never calls in. Actually, he does call in, but doesn't always call in. So he's known to the show. Just stopped kind of calling in, but now he's a boomerang. I guess he's just the supporting type. And I told you about people in Alabama. We talking about Bo. What up?
What up, Bo?
What's up, Bo from Bama? How you doing?
What an intro. That's funny.
What, you a boomerang or a ringer? Because I forgot. Because you've been upgraded, but you just ain't been calling.
Man, I don't know. I went to the top of the list and clicked on that junk.
You the champ.
I don't know. I listen to every show, bro. I tell you all the time. I'm always on the line. I just don't press one because, like I mentioned before, I'm really not a morning person, and during the day I'm at work, so I don't never really had an opportunity to really talk to y'all. But the hate for Tyson Fury is real, man. I don't like Tyson Fury.
Hold the fuck up.
What up, bro?
I ain't getting no shout out to Bo Jackson. I ain't getting no shout out to motherfucking Bo.
Intro.
You know what I'm saying? Give me an intro,
yeah,
Bo.
Give me
something.
Shout out to Riddick Bo, Ty Bo Mack, and Bo Jackson. Yeah, man. You know what's going on. They man, the hate for Tyson Fury is real. That shit crazy as hell. I don't like him either. You know what I'm saying? Being that I'm from Alabama, that's expected that I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Heavyweight champ of the world, Deontay Wilder, shout out, salute. But that, I mean, I seen Devin Haney come out in the Mexican shit. I seen Floyd do it, Tyson Fury do it, and it's fucking outrage. Like, this is what he wants. He wants the reaction. Hate and love the same thing. He is getting the same attention, the same likes, the same views. It works, man. I gotta say, shout out to Tyson Fury, bro. Everything he doing work. He fight a bomb on Mexican independence or whatever the holiday is. I'm not 100% certain, but that shit worked, man. He beat out Canelo for the day, all that. He eclipsing, like you mentioned before, Jaime Munguia and all of them. Jaime Munguia finna get a knockout. Ryan Garcia finna get a knockout. Devin Haney might come out next.
Cut it, Bo. I dealt with that shit because you the champ. But definitely hang up and reconnect. You sound like you was underwater. Constant clipping. I don't know what that is. We got Mastermind, N.O. in the Nolia. What it do?
What up, N.O.?
Ooh, how my audio sound, you hear me?
Crystal.
Loud and clear, champ.
Alright. Dang it, dog. Dang it. But look, check this out, you hear me? I mean, I don't see what Tyson Fury doing that's really different from what everybody else had already did before. But you know, he got that extra Tyson Fury, you know, that clown shit with it. But I mean, Florida came in the ring with a sombrero, with the whole Mexican colors, the whole outfit. I mean, Earl did it without the hat. I mean, a bunch of fighters came in, cause like, you know, we keep it all the way true. Like the Mexican people, like they buy and support boxing, you know, a lot more than other, like, you know what I'm saying, coaches or whatever. So he's just trying to get to the money. You know, Tyson Fury a clown, dog, and sometimes clown niggas do whatever they got to do to get to the bread. They might join us. I can see Tyson Fury join the Illuminati and doing the blood sacrifice. That's Tyson Fury. That's his MO. Him, Kanye West, they gonna sell out, dog, for the bread. They gonna sell out for the bread. Just like he gave all that money to the charity and all that. Y'all believe that shit? Who believe that, bro? Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Like, so don't that surprise me, bro. Like I say, he the Tekashi 6ix9ine of the heavyweight division. Cut it.
Great call, N.O.
Hey.
Damn, he came with that fire this morning.
He brought up a good point. I forgot Earl was wearing the Mexican colors versus Mikey.
Yeah, I told y'all other people done it. I
forgot all about that.
But it's different. It's different. No one else called them out on it. We are not calling Tyson Fury out. We are reporting that Andy Ruiz is calling Tyson Fury whack. Andy Ruiz is upset at what Tyson Fury is doing. We're just giving our opinion. You muted yourself, champ. Or not, maybe you did. I'm watching the wrong screen. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I was
Never mind. You know, Ness got 1,000 windows open over here. We got to keep these lines moving. Let me double check. Ain't got nobody else. Looks like my Seattle Boomeranger wants back on. What it do? Am I correct, Dominic? You want back in?
Yes, I do, man.
Go for it.
What's up, everybody? let's keep it real. Let me switch the narrative because you guys played it out. Let's talk about Tyson Fury wanting to sue Deontay Wilder for maybe not taking that fight, because it's been 2 fights almost Tyson Fury's having, and he still hasn't, took Deontay Wilder's offer. And, I think that Deontay Wilder should let Tyson Fury flow into the wind. It's kind of getting old. He's painting pictures. He's going on all these TV shows. It's just getting old, bro. How did he go on Mike Tyson's show? And Mike Tyson is American and didn't say anything about Deontay Wilder. Like, why aren't you taking this fight?
But they probably told him. I ain't watched the whole thing. Are you sure they ain't talk about Wilder? Because if they didn't, remember that Wilder and Tyson have had some words. Plus, Tyson tried to come out and defend Mike Tyson, on social media for things that Wilder has said. That's interesting. See, I didn't listen to the whole hot box because it's hard. It's hard. I mean, he's still doing
it. Wasn't too much talk about Deontay
he's
Wilder.
Still telling me about the mental health. Like, I'm good.
I'm played out in that shit, bro.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with it. I get you, but I'm not a casual fan. So it's like, yo, you telling me the first 15 minutes is going to be this? Nah, I'm out. I got other shit to do.
Exactly. And another thing is, even if he does sue him, he won't get that much money. Because I think that he wants to sue him because he doesn't want to fight. Anybody who waits this long to get a rematch,
that don't make any sense, champ.
Cut it. Yes, it does.
He wants to sue him so that he ensures he gets the fight.
Yeah, for sure, man. But look, and I don't want to seem like I'm being disingenuous when I talk about like mental health, but everywhere I turn nowadays, it's like mental health, and it's great. It's great for folk like people who are going through that kind of thing and need it, but sometimes it's just, what I'm saying, and when you see it a lot and you hear about it a lot, and
you get burnt out on it.
Platforms, and you get burnt out on it.
I don't feel that way at all. I just feel like if I'm trying to consume an interview on Tyson Fury, I want the writer, interviewer, vlogger, whatever the creator is, to be a bit more creative. If you have to touch on that talking point, which it's a talking point, it is, you know what I mean? And maybe Fury, as an ambassador of mental health, helping people, wants that always to be brought up so he can keep making awareness about it. Cool. But maybe it shouldn't always be the first thing we talk about, because people like me have heard the story 15 times already.
Yeah, and I agree, because I heard the whole interview and I kind of tuned out the beginning of it till it got more interesting.
Perfect. It's so good to have more than one person. So did he say anything about Wilder? Because with that animosity between Mike and Wilder and then Tyson and, nothing?
It was very minimal. It was just more about the fight that happened and then the fight that's coming up. It wasn't trash talk. It was just like, yeah, this was led up to the rematch, and this is what led up to the first fight. They really didn't go in depth on Wilder at all.
Okay, because the piece I heard where he spoke about Wilder was only about the one I played about him being knocked out, but that being more a spiritual thing. He was on his spiritual rant at that point.
Yeah, they got into a real religious type of conversation towards the end. It was a fun conversation, but yeah, like you said, the first little mental health part, man, really. I kind of was just like, we've heard it so many times. I heard it on Rogan, heard it on every other interview.
I heard it on the Breakfast Club, I heard it on First Take, I heard it on Rogan, I heard it on fucking Michelle Joy Phillips, heard it on IFL TV. My nigga, I don't need to hear it no more, bro. It's great. Get that shit. It's great that you got it in order, but this is boxing, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Boxing.
I was hoping to hear more about his fight coming up and his future plans, but it wasn't really much of that at all.
Nigga, tell me about Otto Wallen before you tell me about some mental health now. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't even mention him by name. He said,
he said some guy named Wallen is what he said.
Oh, come on, man. I hope Otto go out here and fucking put on the show, man.
The interesting part of that interview was talking about STDs and shit. Yeah. That was giving me a laugh.
Hey, Ronald, hold on a minute, guys. Ronald Finkley, you definitely have to press 1, bro, because I get to everyone. You obviously haven't pressed 1, and I don't have your name stored So that means you haven't called in. Once that happens, you'll definitely never not get through. But you should try again and press 1. Or at least type your area code in the chat, and I can look for it, and I can get you out of the queue. Let me get back to some of these phone calls. We do have a lot, and we got to get these things moving. We're going out to Cincinnati, or actually, I'm not sure about that, but definitely Ohio.
If you know like I know, you should lie low. Killer, I used to get it in Ohio.
What's up, fellas? What's up? What's good, man? Good show. Nice little topic, man. I'm gonna just be real quick. Just give my little synopsis on Tyson Fury, man. Yo, man, everything is not a hit that he does, man. Sometimes he misses. I think this Mexican thing is a big miss, man. He just looked real clownish. Like what I always try to do is put myself in somebody else's shoes to see how I would feel. Like, I don't know if you've seen Gary Russell's last walkout. He came out like a Zulu warrior. You know what I mean?
Yes, I seen it.
If Tyson Fury came out as a Zulu warrior, I'll be highly offended. I feel like he's mocking my culture. I feel like he's making light of, my culture. So I definitely feel any Mexican who's like, yo, bro, this is not done in good taste. So it's just like when Tyson Fury was singing in the ring, that was a huge miss, bro. It was just silly. And, he's too good to have to do clownish things like this. And I don't know. But he'll do something next press conference that'll be a hit. So, again, this one right here, it's just a big miss for me. But that's just my opinion. That's my call.
Yo, but who are we to say that it's a miss, right? Like, what if this is just him? What if he just wants to sing? Like, we could be wrong. It doesn't have to be him trying to be popular. This could just be his personality.
I think it is just his personality. But yo, Ness, I gotta hit to work.
For sure,
Everybody
Chad.
like, subscribe to the show. I'll see. You probably won't see me on the show, but Saturday Border Wars, I'll be competing. Y'all check that out.
Yes, sir.
And y'all
When you fly out?
we leave to Dallas tomorrow. We fly out Friday morning. We'll be in New Jersey by 12 o'clock East Coast time.
Yeah, y'all get that.
So we'll see y'all then. Everybody have a good day. Appreciate you letting me on this. Mike, y'all have a good one.
All right, Chad. Let me get here to who is next here. AJ. Cali, what up? Good morning.
Hey, all right, what's up, man? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
All good.
Shit. Well, shit. I'm gonna start off on the topic at hand. I agree with Andy on the real. That shit was fucking kind of lame and whack to me, but I mean that's just my personal opinion on it. Kind of look more like a clown suit than fucking any kind of representation in that. But besides that, I mean I can't. Here's the thing though, man. A lot of motherfuckers want to talk down and judge fucking Fury on it. If that's just the way the man is, man, who are we to fucking talk down on it? The man want to be an entertainer and a clown and shit, but he can fucking back up with his shit in the ring. I mean, who are we to fucking talk down on that shit when the man giving the folks a fucking a show? But going back to the mental aspect of it, that to me is a fucking pity party. To me, on the real, we live in a fucking generation now where you fucking say anything sensitive and shit, and everybody want to talk down, or everybody want to go for the fucking throat. And to me, it's just say how it is, man. You didn't mention this shit. It's a part of your brand now. Everywhere you go, it's like, okay, well let the past be the past and grow up for that shit. To me, it just sounds like he ain't matured enough to actually look past it, because it's always a damn what I call it, a fucking it's always some kind of a back and forth for him. Anything the man say is, oh, mental health. I did this to fucking Pitchko, and I did this, and it's like, okay, boy, this is what you done in the past 2 years.
Cut it.
N.O. Boomerang, you want it now? Because I see it looks like you asked for it now. No? All right. Oscar the Mouth Guard.
Yo, what's up, Ness? What's up, Mike? What's up, other guys?
So check it out. I feel like the people who are most disconnected from their culture or from their parents' culture are the ones that get the most offended by somebody else trying to embrace their culture only because they're not that close to it. Because if you were to ask, my wife is Mexican and she's from Mexico. She came here when she was 15. If somebody comes over and says, "Oh, I love the Mexican culture. I'm wearing a Mexico shirt. I'm wearing a Mexico jersey," they won't get offended. If anything, they'll be happy. They'll be endeared by it because it's like, "Oh, look, these people love Mexicans. Okay, that's awesome." But here in the States, if you try to do that to a Mexican person, you do it to a black person, you do it to a freaking Irish person, they get fucking offended because they take everything as an offense. Now, Andy Ruiz, he's not a pure Mexican. He's American with Mexican family. Sure, he's got the culture, but if you hear him speak Spanish, his Spanish is whack. Like he doesn't speak Spanish like a Mexican person.
Wow, you called
his Spanish is whack, man.
Nah,
yeah, bro. I'll say it again. His Spanish is whack.
Yo,
it is.
I think my Spanish
that's
is
what
whack.
I'll let him take
No. If you hear somebody from Mexico speak Spanish, you compare it to the way he does, it's not there.
I spoke to his
it's
father.
Not there.
I spoke to his father.
Well, his father's different because his father was probably born there. But Andy himself, I've heard him in interviews, and his Spanish is it's conversational at best, but it's not fluent. It's not like somebody who's.
Hey man, I hear you. Listen, I guess you're right, man. I guess you're right. But
not right. Fuck that, bro.
No. What I mean is there is always again in my nationality.
Of course, when you're born around everybody who speaks Mexican, Spanish, you're gonna speak it better than somebody who's not
slightly
around it
different.
as much.
Yeah, it's slightly different. There is because you're from here.
For him to say that he's not a true Mexican or real.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's right on that. I'm not saying he's right. I'm talking about
his family is from Mexico. His heritage is from Mexico because he's born over a fucking line in the imaginary line. That doesn't make him real. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yo, I think his Spanish is good. When he takes to the mic, I've seen other, Latino Americans struggle in Spanish. I've seen that. He does well. Like in New York, he took to the podium. He's done, Spanish, all Spanish interview, ESPN Deportes, all Spanish. Like anybody, he fucks up a little bit. But I think he defends himself well.
You help Canelo help you. Let's go. Both
Canelo said I think he's walking him out, man. I wish I would have paid attention better, but Canelo's definitely doing something for this fight for him. Whether it's going to be meeting him in Mexico or walking him out. I hope someone wrote an article about it. He talked about it, though.
If Canelo be in Saudi Arabia, nigga.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe he didn't say walking him out. You're right. You forget that this fight is happening in Saudi Arabia.
If Canelo in Saudi Arabia, Andy better not lose, boy. He better not lose, nigga.
Yeah,
Canelo?
He ain't going over there. That was definitely a miss. I ain't hear that right then. Let me see here. Oh, we got Stonebone Boxing.
What up, Stonebone?
Yo, what up, y'all? Hey, man, let me clear this up for my black, brown, Mexican, whatever you niggas want. Sorry, guys. Whatever y'all want to call yourself. Stop falling for this bull crap, man. You sit here and let Trump all day tell black people born here, Mexican people, they not from here. Go back to your country. But now y'all want to let another white man tell Andy, you ain't Mexican. You falling for this bull crap all the time. I'm tired of black and brown people letting white people cause a division. How you gonna tell this man he ain't Mexican? What the hell are you talking about? His daddy is Mexican. What Mexican? What Andy say? That Mexican blood is running in me. So if I were to tell this white boy, you don't speak Caucasus Mountain region, you don't speak German, so you're not white. Stop it. You're white, and you're gonna sit here and let these racist white people. I just got so irked listening to in that last caller talking about he's not a real Mexican. Tell his daddy that. Tell a white person that who look at him and what do they see? When they telling us to go back to Africa, I ain't never been to Africa. I don't speak Swahili, Arabic, or none of the native tongues. But they gonna tell me, you ain't American enough, go back to Africa. So stop letting them get us on this bull crap, man. I'm tired of hearing black people say, "Oh, I'm African American." Shut up, he's black, and he's brown. He's Mexican. He's what he say he is. Prove he not. He beat the shit out of AJ like a Mexican supposed to. Beat the shit out of people beat the shit out of Fury out there. Just because all of this racist talk coming from these white guys, we let it slide like it's funny. But when a black person say something like that, oh, we're, you know what I mean? We the scum of the earth.
Cut it.
Make a good point. We got Jonathan. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, fellas. When it comes to the Fury thing, man, it's kind of interesting. I guess it really just depends on the person because, as you guys mentioned, Earl, Floyd, they all came out with the sombrero and things like that. And even on low-key, Canelo has adapted our culture, you know, with the swag and the way he boxes. So it really just depends on who you are. But I just hate that we enable Fury with the buffoonery constantly. I tend to reside with Wilder. Whatever he tells me, I roll with when it comes to Fury because Fury is a clown to me. Another thing I wanted to touch on is you guys mentioned that Ugas fight with Porter. Let's not forget Ugas is flat-footed. You know what I'm saying? You might not have seen giving him some rounds in the first 4 rounds, but Ugas is very flat-footed, and towards the end of that fight, Sean faded. That's my call.
All right, champ. Hey, Jonathan, man, remember I said I got to the 4th and, you know, I had other shit to do, like sleep. But, yeah, no, just looking at that fight, though, I noticed that it's a totally different fight. You know, Ugas doesn't punch in combination. He ain't letting him go like that, you know. So it's just a different fight from the Earl fight. You know, I was just going back to watch it, get that in. You know, we're going out to Steve on Skype.
Yeah, hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
All right.
I want to ask you, if Ruiz loses, is he still in the conversation?
It depends how he loses, right? If he gets whitewashed, then people will call it a fluke. But if he's competitive, I mean, he can make a case for a trilogy.
Because I think Fury's looking at him as like he's some bum that beat AJ, and now he's getting all this attention, and I think Fury just wants to keep himself in the conversation. Because Fury looks at himself as the best in the division.
Well, you're totally right about Fury wanting to stay in that conversation. I cannot deny that.
And he's saying that everyone keeps telling him he's fighting bums, but when AJ fought Ruiz, they were saying Ruiz was a bum and Ruiz won.
When AJ fought Ruiz? Oh, yes.
Yeah, nobody knew Ruiz. Nobody, and then he was a last-minute replacement, and everybody was like, who's this guy and this and that. And now when Fury fights these guys, Whalen or whatever, you know, these guys that we ain't never heard of, he's getting heat for that. And I think he feels as though, you know, hey, you got to keep me in the mix.
Yeah,
and
but at least Andy was on world level before he was pulled up like Wallin or Tom Swartz or Safara or
I agree with you, but I'm saying the media presents it like that.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
We're all knowledge.
Cut it.
Andy had fought Joseph Parker, you know what I'm saying? Had fought coming off a knockout over Dimitrienko.
Nah, but he still got a point though, Mike. Come on, man. I mean, like we didn't give him no shot. It don't matter who.
Yeah. Nobody. I was on the air like I'm like, no, I don't think he's.
Yeah, yo, and then the fact that they picked like someone with that body shape, like they really set themselves up, you know, because they weren't expecting that.
You would give him more of a shot than you giving the Wallin or Swartz.
Yeah. But I mean, yo, word is born. I just keep it real, bro. I never thought AJ would lose unless it was to Wilder or Fury. Like that, just like everybody. I only thought they was the top 3. I didn't think anyone else was in the mix. Even when Big Baby was gonna fight AJ, I still had AJ winning that fight. I was just super intrigued to see where Big Baby was gonna take AJ. You know, and now, look, we'll never fucking know. We're going out to Eddie in Oakland. Talk to me.
Yo.
What up, champ?
Yo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, yeah, man, I like what Tyson Fury doing. You know, he got the Mexican. He's trying to be international. He's trying to bring the Mexican fans with him. You know, he knows he's gonna fight Wilder. Everybody wants to, like, all the Americans is gonna see Wilder. So he's trying to get that base. He's gonna bring his England fans to watch the fight. So he's just trying to make the Mexicans tune in that fight too as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just think he's doing good. Trying to be international. Trying to switch it up, you know?
Well, all right, man. Thanks for calling
That's my call,
in.
guys.
Eddie in Oakland.
BoxingVoice.com.
You invited him to the ring? Why?
Yo le invité a que subiera. Como decimos en México, hay que dejarnos de mamadas. ¡Viva México!
And like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around. BoxingVoice.com.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
What up, Machine Gun?
Yo, what up, guys? Look, on the Tyson Fury thing real quick, it's, I don't really got a problem with it, bro, because everybody does it, you know? Roy Jones did it. Floyd did it. In Dallas, Earl had, you know, Mexican-colored shirts because he was fighting Mikey. And really, it's just how you really go about it, bro. I have no problem as long as he doesn't act a fool and do something racist. You know, that's pretty much it. And with the whole Mayan belt, people are taking it out of proportion. The WBC already said it's just a trophy. You know, it's just something to give for the holiday, man. That's my call.
All right. Fair to say, Matt is Mexican, so, you know, he don't got an issue with it. Boomerang status, NO, talk to me. NO.
Yeah, Ness, bro. Yeah, you got me?
Got you.
Ooh, you good?
We good.
Hello? Yeah. But say, bro, I really don't believe nothing Fury say, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was supposed to rematch Klitschko, bro, and all of a sudden he had mental issues and all that shit. Never got that rematch, bro. A lot of people ain't believe the Wilder fight was gonna happen until it happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't know if their rematch gonna happen, bro. He do a lot of politicking and shit. And he really run a game on top rank. He jagging them. He robbing them with no gun right now, man. I don't know if everybody see that shit. But he robbing the motherfuckers with no pistol right now, man. He done got that contract. He ain't fight nobody. He still ain't fight Wilder yet. That man, how many fights on that contract? Ain't no guarantee he gonna fight Wilder. He might play them like this here. I'm gonna fight Wilder when I re-up. I want the 80 million on top up front this time. You can't see that shit, Nuts?
I could definitely see that.
Come on, man. I do the kind artist, man. It's official. I'm stabbing him. You dig? And like, you know, he getting his money. I can't knock him. You dig? He got the game from Floyd, and he running with that motherfucker. You dig? Come on, man. But check this out, man. If Wilder go ahead and go for undisputed.
Cut it.
So, Bo, I checked. You were ringing for sure, so that means you cut the line. We going out to Aaron. Talk to me.
What up, Aaron?
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
All good.
With the Tyson Fury thing, again, I kind of think maybe the sales are down for the Otto Weiland fight. He's trying to pull whatever he can to promote the fight, and that's dressing up as a Mexican. We saw it with Floyd Mayweather, but Mayweather is, you know, one of the greatest. We saw it with Hopkins, high school, Puerto Rican flag down. So, you know, this is just another ploy to increase sales and get the attention on him this weekend. Again, the worst lineal champion in the history of heavyweight boxing. The question I have is, what lineal champion in heavyweight boxing did not have an actual title? Only Tyson Fury. So, you know, I mean, it's just sad that the opponent he's picking, and, you know, that's it. So, I mean, I don't take offense to it. I mean, there is levels, I think, like that other caller was saying, there is levels of racism within, you know, blacks and Mexicans, there's levels of that, but Fury's just doing it just to be a clown, and that's all he's doing. He dressed up as Apollo Creed, now he's dressing up as a Mexican. So anyone who knows boxing can see through that stuff. Take some good opponents, Fury, and then you'll get some ultimate respect. That's my call.
Thanks for calling in. We got Mike in Michigan. Talk to me.
What up, Mike?
Yo. Hey, how's it going, fellas?
All good.
I'm Mexican and black, and I understand the promotional thing with Tyson Fury and everything, but I also feel how the other callers talk about Mexican Americans. So some Mexicans don't act Mexican. Because I grew up in a black neighborhood. I didn't realize I was Mexican until I was about 11, 12 years old. I got a black grandma and a Mexican grandma, and my grandpa from Mexico came here on a banana boat. So I understand the whole situation, and I agree with all the other people saying that Tyson Fury just promoting for the Mexican holiday, and that's my call. Yep.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in. Yo, this was actually a good topic, man. We're getting a lot of people that are going through similar situations. We're seeing, multicultural people calling in and not taking offense. And that's what this is, man, believe it or not. It's our own little census, right? We get to feel how the public is kind of taken to certain things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm pleasantly surprised that a lot of people aren't taking offense to it. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I mean, it's pretty much working for Fury. Like people are like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like you dressing up in Mexican, and we've seen people do it before, and he's not doing it in a disrespectful way. So I guess they're on board with it.
So now, most of us or some of us don't have any claims to the argument, right? Like obviously, someone like our last caller, being Mexican and African American, has his claim to this argument, and that's why we're here. It was Andy that took offense. Hearing everyone else's story,
but did he take offense after he called him and said he wasn't Mexican?
What you mean? He called him and said he wasn't Mexican?
Well, I mean, he didn't call him, but he did an interview and said, "Hey, man, Andy's not a real Mexican." Like,
really,
yeah.
Tyson Fury said that?
I mean, that's what he's. Oh, I thought Andy said Tyson not. Okay.
Yeah, Andy told Tyson he's not a Mexican. Let me play it again. Let me play it again because we ain't played it in a long time. We only played it in the beginning.
Fury's talking shit. He's representing Mexico. He's not even Mexican. What kind of shit is that? Hey, what is Tyson Fury? A British fucking.
So, all right. We gotta read some articles to see what exactly Fury said, but it sounds like Fury came out in the media and said he's representing Mexico, because Andy starts off saying Tyson Fury's talking shit. He's saying he's representing Mexico. You know what I mean? So let's just start over. All right.
Fury's talking shit. He's representing Mexico. He's not even Mexican. Kind of shit is that?
Okay, I retract that. He said he's representing Mexico. He's not even Mexican.
Hey, what is Tyson Fury? A British fucking. Ain't even Mexican, man. Wearing the fucking Mexican flag.
You trying to ride the wave, bro?
That's dumb, man. Stay in your lane.
Now you hear someone in the background saying he's trying to ride the wave, bro. And
yeah, but 3 weeks ago he said that he will beat Andy Ruiz with one hand tied behind his back, and then he said Andy said that he was fat shaming him.
Yeah, that's true, because he was calling Andy Ruiz fat, and it's like, yo, bro, look how big you were. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, that's crazy. You fat shaming me, like, you know what I'm saying?
Blame Andy for coming out and responding how he responded. This guy been egging and poking at you for almost a month now. So,
but you know what? Before there was any poking, Andy already has said yo, I want to fight Fury maybe before Wilder, right? He said that.
I think he did. Yeah.
He did say that. But let me go back to the audio.
Represent your country, Tyson Fury. Represent your country. Represent what you represent. Wack. He's cool, man. He's cool. He just needs to stay in his lane, represent where he's from. Shouldn't be representing another country that he's not even a little close of.
Well, there you go. Andy didn't like it, man. He just didn't like it. Let me see what we got here. Looks like a new caller in the Dallas area. Possibly.
214.
¿Qué pasó? 90 seconds. ¿Qué pasó? What's your name? Wait. First time caller?
Jose from Dallas.
Damn, Jose.
Yes, sir.
I was going to hit you with the intro, Jose from Dallas.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Desde Dallas, Texas, Jose.
Cowboys.
Hey, man, good show. It's a good, yes, sir. How about them Cowboys? Who Dak Prescott?
60 seconds.
Anyways, I think Fury's just trying to get that promo going. You know, I mean, it's in the Mexican weekend. I mean, even people like us over here in Dallas, we're trying to figure out, like, hey, what fight are we going to watch? What are we going to do? What are we going to grill? You know, what are we going to make? You know, are we going to watch Fury? Are we going to get the ESPN Plus? Are we going to do the Zone? Some of us have the Zone. Some of us have ESPN Plus. So it's just Bob Arum, you know, tell them, hey, you know, you need to work a little bit more, trying to get this Mexican audience in here. You know, it's their weekend. I know they're going to be trying to either tune into one of these two fights. So we got to get, you know, as much viewing as we can. So as far as the sombrero, everything that goes, you know, the flags, the luchador máscara. I mean, I'm surprised not even Navarrete is doing that. And he's the true Mexican there on that card.
10 seconds.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
No problem. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, like I said, I think it's just a little promo. I mean, I'm a true Mexican, born and raised in Mexico, been here for another 20 years. But like I said, I take no offense to it. He's just trying to do whatever he can. I mean, I was at the Spence fight with Mikey. I didn't take no offense to that. Mayweather, again, no offense to that. They do what they got to do. At the end of the day, it's a business. They got to try to sell as much as they can to our viewership, you know?
Cut it.
Jose in Dallas, man, thanks for calling in, and hope you continue to be a listener and continue to call in. That is everyone. Want to thank everyone that tuned in. I am your host, Nestor Giss. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. And, yeah, the betting lines is open. Listen, if you put $50 on Porter, you make $300.
Ain't bad.
Money line.
Oh, wow.
What if it's just like a robbery? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Like,
they
really?
Gonna rob Earl?
Hey, listen. A robbery or a draw, right? Like, where's Earl going next? Honestly speaking, where's Earl going next? Nowhere. That's where. Nowhere. That's where. Okay? Nowhere. Because guess what? Pacquiao is driving the car.
And don't give all this sauce out right now, man. You're giving out too much sauce, man. But yeah, follow me on IG at Grouse1911 or on Twitter at Grouse2312. It should be some lines open. Shit, what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, it should be us.
For Haney, the weekend should be already for Haney?
No.
Yo, the thing is that Haney is like a minus 3,335, bro. It's like you got to pick the round on Haney to get money, man.
Hey, put money on Haney by decision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be any better.
By decision?
I don't think the line is gonna be any better. You know what I'm saying? I think he's still gonna be minus like 400-500 by decision.
Let me look at this shit, man, right quick. Man.
But yeah, NestGTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Yo, we got the mic in Michigan, right?
Yeah, we got the mic in Michigan.
Do say, fellas.